Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Kaluno Gaming. And today we are back in Planet Coaster. We are going to continue working on the roller coaster that we just built. As you can see, I've kind of already started making like the path area for it. In this episode, I didn't get to the main entrance building yet, so I kind of just focused on the roller coaster, and then I realized I worked about an hour or so on just that. And then I realized I kind of ran out of time to work on the main entrance building. So probably in the next episode, or maybe in a future episode, I'll go back over there. But for now, I've kind of kept my focus on just the roller coaster. And I think after that, I kind of want to work on the main town, or maybe a larger roller coaster in this area. But as you can see here, I had a little trouble with just the path, trying to figure out how I wanted it to connect to everything, how I wanted it to kind of just gently sweep underneath the roller coaster where I want to put a bridge for it to exit. But other than that, it seems to work well. And I did open the roller coaster as I'm doing this from this point on, because at this point I'm done with the roller coaster itself and I just need to finish the scenery around it. As you can see, I'm kind of messing with the settings a little bit, and that was just to make sure that I had the terrain collision off and all the other collisions pretty much turned off. The game does a pretty good job when you have them on for giving you some space to put stuff, but I find that in real parks, I mean, you have some stuff pretty close to paths and roller coasters, like, you know, you get head chopper moments or you get arm chopper moments on certain wooden roller coasters, and I just felt that if you have those turned on, you can't put items close enough to the track to get those kind of feelings. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of putting some rocks in, putting some foliage in, just to kind of give it a more natural look, something that, you know, you might actually see in a theme park rather than out in the wild. But it's kind of a balance in between that I was going for. And you can see I'm kind of working on the arch, just trying to make that look a little bit more realistic, and that way there also, as people pass under it, it's weird, the characters in the game, they don't react to the terrain, but they react to scenery items in the terrain. So like if you have a head chopper moment, you'll see like the characters will pick their hands up and kind of like duck down in the car as if they're going to get hit. But if there's just a piece of terrain in that same spot, they don't even notice it. So the terrain doesn't really add to the coaster scenery, but the scenery around the track does wonders for it. And I'm not quite done with the scenery on this track yet by the end of this video, but I do get pretty close. I get to a good area where I can kind of move on to the next element in my park and kind of then go back at the end and tie them all together a little bit better. And that was the other thing, is you'll notice that I'm kind of just putting cacti out beyond the roller coaster where I don't know other things are going to be yet or not. And that was more just kind of to get the feel of, you know, this is how close these might be, what else might be thrown in there. So I was kind of trying to get that feel tossed in with it. And so you can see I'm just pretty much working on scenery for a while. And as I said, I kind of worked close to an hour of doing this, so compressed it down into about 10 minutes. And so you can see there in like the slower, kind of more just bunny hill area, I just wanted to have some really kind of fast moments where you're flying by some scenery. Yeah, and so far I think it's looking pretty good. There's still a little bit on this rock face which I really like, which I might end up putting some lights and stuff on, which I know I still need to go back and light my roller coaster, but there's this archway right here which I really like, which I kind of want to light up for the night time kind of like rides. And then there's also the first drop that I want to light up really well, and the kind of the last section I want to light up as if you just rolled into a small outlaw town where it's just going to have some lights here and there, maybe have it be a little bit brighter, and whereas the outer stretch where it's out in the rocks is kind of going to be more sparsely lit, just to have it be a little bit more like you can't tell what's going on or what's going to happen before you get to it. Just kind of that entry level into a larger roller coaster, as I said in the last episode. But right over the path to the left in this part of the video is a section that I want to build a bridge in. And as I said, I'll probably get that done in the next episode, maybe before I build another roller coaster, or possibly after I get the layout for the next one. But as you can see, I've started working on the station building as well. And by no means am I good at building buildings in this game yet. I'm still fairly new at trying to get the concepts down, but I've watched people like Silverat or the Lady Signer, and I watched the way they build, and I've kind of tried to model my buildings off of those, like, going into more detail, making sure you have lighting, breaking up just the flat side of a building with some more elements. And I kind of get about halfway through the building and then say, all right, I need to take a break. It was kind of frustrating. I didn't know how I wanted certain things. I did get the idea that I want it to be like you walk in and it's kind of like a factory farmhouse kind of thing where you're on the main entry level, and then up above you have some like rafters that have old equipment on it. And then on the one side of the building, up in the top, you have a giant placard that just says the name of the ride, which I think eventually we do end up naming this Mustang, if I'm not mistaken. So here you can see I'm trying to put that banner up on the top. And I had an idea to use the TV screens in the game, maybe with some art pieces to make custom letters, but as I said, I kind of got halfway through and got a little frustrated, so you can see I kind of start that idea after I'm done putting these kind of like rafter areas in, and I kind of just give up at that point. I'm like, I'm done trying to fit elements to this small little space, so I kind of give it a break and kind of go back to working on other things. But yeah, I feel like once we're done with this building fully, it'll turn out nice. But currently, it's kind of still a work in progress. And you can see here I'm testing out kind of different elements for what I want up on these rafters, because I feel like if you walk into it, it should have some sort of thing that you can look up at. And so on the one side, I'm going to have kind of like different farm equipment pieces or machinery pieces, and then on the other side I was thinking to have more of like just a storage area that you're not really going to look up and see as much, but maybe just like a few barrels and stuff up there, like they're storing wine or something. And for the longest time I was looking for the barrel piece inside of my scenery, and I couldn't find it. So it took a while, and I found the explosive barrel, but I couldn't find the regular one, so I kind of just ditched that effort for a bit. And as I said, once you get to that frustrated state, you kind of just don't want to do anything. So I kind of gave up on that for a little bit, but I definitely will go back and finish this building. And as you can see here, I do get the lighting that I want. I put in these little like lanterns, which I feel like would be a good Western kind of theme, just to light up the entire inside of the building. And I feel like they do a pretty good job. I feel like it's a little dark, which is kind of what I wanted, but it's also bright enough where you can see what was going on. And here you can see messing with those TV screens to try to get the sign, and it was kind of a waste of a few minutes on my part, because I end up just trying a few different things and then ripping it all off, saying, nope, I'm not going to do that. But it was worth a shot. And I feel like if I spent the time to get like custom letters made up and put into the image files for the game, you could have a really cool custom sign. But I was also trying to build most of these parts with just the basic Planet coaster that you can get. So I don't have any of the DLC yet. I do plan on purchasing all of it, especially when the new pack comes out here. I believe it's October 16th. And I'm hoping they do a special on Steam where you can buy all the packs for a discounted price, because if so, that's what I'm going to do. If not, I'll give it a little bit. Maybe around the holidays they'll have a sale, and then we'll get those packs. But you can see here I'm starting to add some of those like troughs and different farm things. There was the barrel that I did find. It has plants in it. It's kind of not what I was looking for, so I just kind of left it out. But you can kind of see me going through most of the props, and I apologize for the camera spinning around a lot at this part. It's kind of hard to build in there. But yeah, let's cut to a live action portion and show you some of what we got done. So I don't know what happened here, but I lost my audio file for this live action portion. So I'll try to do my best to kind of tell you what I was thinking in those moments. The main thing is kind of like this area. We went over the lighting in the last section for the time lapse of what I want to do over here. So it's just going to be kind of lighting as if you're going into town. And then I went into the lighting here, where I want to have this main drop lit up pretty well, and then kind of go into the sparse lighting out here. And I was just getting some cinematic shots, just following the train going back and forth, and it's kind of like perfect. The camera goes at like the same speed as the train in this part. And then I kind of follow the train into the station. I like the way it's looking. As I said, I kind of want to have those areas where you go into the station and you see the different types of equipment and stuff up above on the rafters. And so you have the lighting and everything in there. And then you come out, you drop into this turn. I kind of want to do something behind this turn. I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe like another like rock wall or something, but just haven't figured it out yet. This is the arch in the turn that I want to light up. I love this view angle to watch the train come at you and then just go back over the hills. I'll show you a few cinematic spots here where I like the view of the coaster. You know, just kind of shows, like, if you were standing there in a normal park, you would like the way it looks, seeing the coaster come at you, or like getting glimpses of the coaster before you get to ride it. And I know in another spot in this video I mentioned that I didn't get a spot, or didn't get a time to work on the spot near the entrance, where the kind of like bank building style thing is. I kind of wish that we could edit terrain outside of the park, because there's a set of trees over there that I don't care for. I wish I could just rip them out. I also wish that you could just, there, I was kind of pointing to it there. I wish you could just kind of rip that whole section out and just kind of change it. Alright, and I think this is Kaluno Gaming signing off for the day. As you saw, there was that area over there that I was talking about. So, have a good day.